Hey guys, it's Tanner and Rissa, and today we're doing a house tour video for you. This is our most requested video. Not like we've got a ton at this point, but we bought our house about 6 months ago, and we really haven't shown much of the process. So today we're gonna give the whole house tour, show what we've done with all of our renovations. Basically from start to finish, we're gonna talk about our successes, maybe things we would have done differently, and why we bought the house we did and what we did.
So we're going to be splitting this video up into two sections. First, we're going to show the kitchen, the living room, what we've done, kind of go into detail, show you the decorations. And then next week's video, we're going to talk about the bedrooms and the bathroom, kind of show you a little bit about there. So we really wanted a home that could be affordable for us. About a year and a half ago, we found financial independence, kind of the FIRE movement, and we really wanted to shoot towards something like that so we can have freedom later on in life. So when we were looking for a home, it had to meet a certain criteria, and we had looked at multiple investment properties, meaning duplexes, quadplex, or a quad or fourplexes, but everything was really highly priced, as it is still now, and so we were kind of discouraged, kind of thinking this is never going to happen, until we came across this home that we're in now. It was right during the shutdowns, the day before the state came down and said, hey, shutting down, don't go out. We had a visit here. We got to see the house. It was awesome.
Well, I saw it first. So that was the day that I came in and I did the tour alone. Tanner stayed with Willa in the car just because we still didn't know, we still don't know everything about coronavirus, but at that point we knew, the least amount of exposure, the better. So I came in, and honestly, when we were doing our shopping before with all the houses, I was like, not happy with what we were seeing. Yeah. Tanner was probably more excited and like gung-ho about those ones, but it was the opposite. When I got here, I was really pleasantly surprised, and so since that moment, I told Tanner, you need to go and look at it, and I don't know, like I felt super strongly about it. So didn't we put an offer down before you even saw it?
Yeah, before I physically saw the place in person, she took videos and everything. I got to see it. And we put an offer down just because you have a lot of flexibility once you put an offer down. Until they accept it and you pass the certain deadlines, you have the time. And so they gave us some time to look at the property. Again, I got to come see it in person, feel a lot better, ask questions, met with the owner. You
trusted me a lot.
Got to get it. Yeah, for sure.
You guys, it was crazy. Like, definitely this house, I feel like, was meant to be with that situation of how it worked out. Yep. And sorry, then you got to see it, and we kept going with the process.
Yeah, at that point we did. We kept going. We ran into a couple obstacles, but there were no other offers at the time. I think it was simply because everything was so new with coronavirus and all of the restrictions. They didn't have another offer, and so they accepted our offer after a couple counters. We got it lower than the asking price, and so
one good thing to come out of coronavirus, I guess, is that a lot of other houses in this market were doing bid wars, like increases above the asking price, and we think we got lucky getting our house for the price we did because the state was on lockdown. Yeah, and we had barely got to see it in time, so it was perfect timing.
Yeah, so great timing for us. So flash forward, May 12th, literally the second we got the call, we were in here tearing stuff down, getting it ready. So there are 3 bedrooms upstairs, 2 bedrooms downstairs. This is a split family home, and there was a tenant already living downstairs and others living upstairs. So a really awesome opportunity for us, because that means we could share the mortgage. And really that's what has been really beneficial for us and has made it possible so we could do so many renovations. So don't think that everything was just so easy because we had oodles of money, but it was because we had saved enough to do renovations, but also along the way, every month.
That extra paycheck.
That extra paycheck coming from the rent is huge.
Like, we pay less here than we did any time almost. We're in a house, we have the most space we've ever had in a newly renovated spot, and we're paying less. So, highly recommend that option. What was our renovations budget? Like $20,000, give or take?
Yeah, I think it was $20,000, and we've probably put in about $30,000 or more. Yeah. Just within renovations, and so little things add up for sure. They're not lying when they say take your budget for renovations and basically times it by 2. And definitely for us, we added more projects that we didn't have originally planned. So all in all, I think we stayed fairly close to budget with what we had planned, but then we just grew the renovations we wanted to do. So just to give you kind of a perspective there, the day that we got the call that everything had closed, we had got the approval that we had got the keys, we were in the first upstairs bedrooms, and we were trying to prep them to get painted. Now, we had very short time. It was about 3 days that we had before we were going to move out some of our things into here, so we could stay here while we worked on the house, not have to drive between Ogden and back. And it was towards end of May was our 12th month. It was the end of our contract in our apartment in Ogden. So we were kind of in this time crunch trying to finish everything. And so flash forward, we spent the next couple days paint rolling. Absolutely the worst idea ever.
Do not paint by hand, you guys.
Yeah, we rolled the first three bedrooms. We rolled the first 3 bedrooms, and it took us so long. The paint, it just needed several layers.
We did what, 3 coats?
We did 3 coats, and it's still
the bathroom and the 3 bedrooms.
And there still could have another coat to just give it that finishing touch. So we did that first part, got them painted, then we moved stuff in there, and then that's kind of where we lived for the next couple of weeks, was in a jumble of all of our stuff all over the place because nothing else could be out here.
Which, you guys, I know I've been asked on Instagram, like, how was that living with renovations? It was hard. Honestly, it was hard. Luckily at the time, Willow was like 4 months, so she wasn't mobile. She wasn't crawling or walking or anything. Super big blessing with that. I couldn't imagine her crawling and stuff because we were trapped in one room. I guess at one point we only had 1 room done because we were still painting out the others and all of our stuff was in there. Then it happened to be, you know, we could spread our stuff out into 2 to 3 rooms. We tried to keep it to 2 rooms. And then the 3rd room was like our tool room. So really during the day, it was like a demo out here and dust and crazy and just dirty and loud. And me and Willow were in our bedroom just like chilling. So, I mean, hard, but definitely worth the money that we saved. Like we did save, we didn't have to pay for mortgage and rent, and we were right here. It was super convenient, but it was hard. So use that to your discretion. I know maybe if our rental was closer where we were renting, maybe we would have done, you know, it might have been worth it for a little bit longer. For sure, we would have sprayed everything first. At least the bedrooms we would have sprayed before moving. That was one big regret.
Painting with a spray gun is what she. So after we had painted all 3 bedrooms using the rollers, and the bathroom, might I add, we decided no way we're going to roll again. So we borrowed a friend's paint sprayer. But before we could paint, we had to get everything out that we didn't want. So there was a huge, just right over here to the right, there was this huge fireplace, wood-burning fireplace, that was just plopped right in the middle. It was the weirdest design. It kind of split up the kitchen and the living room, kind of put them in 2 different compartments.
It did, for sure.
But it was huge, and the previous owners had never used it, so they weren't even sure if it worked that well. But it was, for us, we really wanted an open, airy, as Marissa says.
I always use the word airy.
An airy concept, and so that was one of the first things that we had to get out. We thought that would take 1 day. That took probably 3.5 days, just because there was tile, there was wire mesh, there was the stove itself that was very heavy, and so luckily friends and family came over to help get that all tore out. Next, we tore out the kitchen cabinets, the kitchen sink, so we were living out of our bathroom sink for a while until we decided that it was a good idea to tear out the bathroom sink and vanity to get everything out. So honestly, we didn't really have running water here.
Well, we had a utility sink. You went and bought one.
Until we put the utility sink upstairs. So we had tore down a little bit of this little wall here. There's a little pony wall in the kitchen. We tore that down. So that was massive. It was about a week or so of just pure demo.
Do you remember sitting in Ogden? Okay, we knew we were gonna get the house. We're sitting in Ogden. We're like, let's like hash out the list of all the to-dos, our timeline.
Disclaimer. Disclaimer. I had a more realistic timeline than Marissa.
Yeah, but you still thought like a month.
Because I'm not going to disagree. So anyway, Marissa thought that the first 3 days we could have painting and demo done.
I was like, it should not be that hard to take down a chimney. Breaking down stuff, fast, easy, which it is fast and easy. The renovating part, the putting things back together is definitely longer. But our timeline was like way off. I was thinking like 3 weeks, like we would be done and basically finished. Flash forward to 6 months and we're now like finally getting close.
Yeah. So once we had done all the demolition, we prepped everything for painting using the sprayer 10 times fast. It's one of those airless air ones you can get at Lowe's or Home Depot, and fortunately a friend let us borrow theirs. And the longest and hardest part about doing painting is the prep work, honestly. After you paint, takedown is really easy. We painted everything.
Patching holes, everything sucks.
We painted everything after we patched all the drywall and did all the mudding and got everything looking great. And at that point, it was night and day difference once we had the painting job. But then probably came the most difficult part, and that was the time-consuming part of tearing out all the flooring, tearing out all the subflooring, and then trying to fix all of the squeaks. So this home is 1978, 79, and there are a lot of old rusty nails that were in the flooring. And so every time you would step, it was like creak, creak. So like, no way that no one's going to hear you coming up the stairs, going down the hallway. And so we spent the next couple days trying to find those squeaky spots, take out the nails, put screws in, try to get a better stable floor. Next came a new layer of subflooring. We just put some OSB down, I believe, a little bit higher. No, we didn't put OSB. Yes, we did. We put OSB, not MDF.
We and not me. Will and me were chilling in the back.
Yeah. So we put a new layer of OSB down as a subfloor, and then we put luxury vinyl plank as the flooring. Now we'll go a little bit into that. We would still do LVP, but we would probably choose something that was a little less expensive. No regrets. We love the flooring, but at the same time, we could have probably saved $1,000 choosing a different color of flooring and been completely happy with it.
I wanted something that I really loved. Now looking back, knowing it's an investment property, and who knows how long we're going to be here, for sure, I'd agree with Tanner. But it's hard when you're making those decisions because you want the best thing. I think you'd face that if you're doing your own renovation. You know, it's hard to find that balance between, okay, renovation, what do we want? I think it's really important to mention that Tanner and I, well, when I say Tanner and I, mostly Tanner, he learned all of the skills from this. Like, we didn't really have any background of knowledge of how to do this. We just went in and were like, you know what? It's worth it for us to save the money. We're going to learn how to do this. And so, like, mudding the ceiling and the walls, like, we did not pay for that to be done. We didn't pay for any work except for plumbing. We have not plumbing. Well, we did end up having a little bit of plumbing issues, but a little bit of electrical work. We had our friend, so that was awesome because we got a friend discount with that.
And then help with cement work and installing a back door entrance for the basement. So a lot of things we did by ourselves, but we do have to give a lot of credit to friends and family.
For sure.
My brothers helped a ton. My dad helped a ton. Father-in-law and brother-in-laws helped immensely. Cannot go without giving them credit because we saved a lot of money because of their expertise too. But in the end, I feel very comfortable that if we do this again, probably not on the same level. We've decided that we probably wouldn't live and do quite the renovation that we did in this home. We would hopefully not have to have anyone help us out again. So,
and I would just say it's important to know that you can do it. You can learn everything on YouTube. That's where Tanner learned almost everything. Like, even if you don't have the skills, just know that if you take the time and if it's worth it to you to save the money, you can do it by do it yourself.
Yep. So once the flooring was in, it was time to slowly piece everything back together. So it took a couple weeks. We got bathroom countertop put in. We got the IKEA cabinets put in, and then finally we got the countertop put in. Now that was once again we had another great opportunity to work with friends, and they came in and helped install it. Helped us get us a lot of money that way too. So overall, things were just like little pieces at a time. Like every week or every time family called and something, that was exactly what we were doing. Even up until today, this morning, I've spent a couple hours just working on other projects because
mostly downstairs.
It just takes time. So.
I mean, and then once we put in the flooring, we still had our bedrooms to do. So we were like, we still had the old carpet. It was painted, but that was about done in the bedroom. So we moved everything out here, and then we just finished the rest of the house that way, and kind of did it that way. But it was a process of juggling things from here to there to here to there, living without our kitchen for a long while. That was probably one of the hardest spots. That, and then just like having a newborn, or not a newborn, but a 4-month-old, and her adjusting to this house and the noise and the dust all around. We basically drained our air conditioner. Not drained, but we filled it so much with all the sand and dust that it stopped working. Make sure to refill the filter.
We had to change our filters out quite a bit. And we still are now, just because we're doing projects here and there, and there's, I don't know if it's left over dust, but in the end,
So after that was basically done, we just did the finishing touches. We found out decorations cost a lot, which I would still want to redo this couch, but who knows how long we're going to be here. Things cost money and they take time, so we've done a little bit of at a time. But we love where we're at now. We love the space that we've created. It is really light and airy. There's a lot of natural light, luckily, in this house. We kept a lot of neutral colors. All the paint's white. We used Simply White Benjamin Moore. We did a white tile on our kitchen backsplash, white cabinets, basically white everything mixed with a lot of creams and colors. So we're gonna list everything that we used, all the decorations, down below in the comments, so click there. As for like materials for renovations and stuff, if you have any questions, list those down. I mean, ask them in the comments, because we're not gonna list everything that we did. That would take way too long and not even fit. So it feels good to be at this spot. We're really happy with the decision. Even though we spent more than we planned on, it's worth it, because we're hoping to keep this for a long time. And for now, it's just a really happy space. Okay, so welcome to our living room area. I like to think of this space as light, airy, open, and simple. We have 2 couches in here, a credenza, a TV, a coffee table, and that's it. So we installed 6 can lights here, and we put in a lamp. The lamp is great for winter times when it gets dark earlier. You can pick up a book, read, and then the can lights provide super good light. We love this spot because there's 2 sliding doors here that goes out into our little front porch. Creates a great breeze in the fall nights when we want to open up the windows and the doors, and then it just gives a lot of natural light. So I love having the plants here. It creates a fun environment. I love plants. You try not to get in them. Mama has to catch her. Yeah, this is our living room. It's super simple. We love this rug. The one downfall about it is it does shed, so beware if you get that. That's the only downfall. When I get the new couch, we're gonna do neutrals, and that's kind of what we've done with all of our colors, is just keep it neutral, simple, whites and creams, and a few basic other colors. So.
In this area we had, right above was the fireplace. This is where the flue went up through the roof and out. And then 2 small little pony walls about 8 to 10 inches stuck out here and here. So this was kind of a difficult area. We had to remove all of that, remove all the wood, replace the sheetrock, mud it, smooth it. And so this was a very difficult. My brother showed me how to do a lot of the mudding to get it a smooth finish. They would borrow some of his tools too, so can't thank him enough. But it was a very difficult task, simply because when you're working with drywall and mud, everything seems to show up. And so this took quite a bit of time. And as you can see here, there was a big square all through here. That's where the box went out. Same thing, kind of a difficult thing to try and blend things, but for our sake, it turned out really well. We were really happy with the results, and as you can see, it's very open, nice smooth transition from here to the kitchen. And secondly, we had to go over here. Right here, there was a wall, and so it even cut things off, making it a lot smaller than before. We took it out all the way up to here, right so it's flush with the fridge and close enough to this electric light switch panel here, and squared it all off, and it continued to make everything really nice.
Nothing but good vibes, good vibes. Give me that sunshine. Every day is a new beginning. Every day is a gift to hold up high.
Okay, Okay, so for the kitchen, we have all the same appliances that were there with the exception of the microwave and the dishwasher. And everything before was an older wood cabinetry, a lot of sticky mildew residue from cooking, frying, and other things like that. So fortunately, we were able to replace them all, put some extra deep cabinets. We did have to take out, there was a square design. A lot of those 1980s, 70s homes have a dropped ceiling in the corners, and we took that out completely. Once again, there was a lot of electric work that we had to kind of move stuff around for the wires, but it's really nice because these are deep, very awesome, store quite a few things, and everything just looks really well. The great part about this is IKEA cabinets are so easy to install. It took a while for them to get here because everything we had to get shipped, and it came in a couple shipments, but we got everything, and it's really nice because there are metal bars that you hook into the studs in the kitchen. Are you telling them what's going on? So there's metal bars that you hook the cabinets on, so they hook all together, but then they just sit on top of that bar that's really stable, and so it makes it really nice, and everything can be even and level from the very beginning. You waving to everyone? Hola. Hello. And so same thing with the base cabinets. They sit on a similar metal bar that's level when you make sure that you level when you put it in, and everything sits on there, and it was a really smooth transition. We really recommend using IKEA cabinetry. Not to mention it's fairly affordable when you compare other custom cabinetry, and it just has a really slick, clean finish.
Don't worry about the clouds, 'cause when the skies come out, give me that sunshine, sunshine. Give me them good times.
Well, thanks for watching, guys. We hope you've enjoyed seeing our renovations, and hope you can tune in for next week for part 2.
Yeah, next week we're going to be showing you all of the bedrooms, so be sure to tune in. Thanks for being here again, and we'll see you next week.
Bring on the summertime. Bring on the summertime. Bring on the summertime.